everyone, I would like to share with you my 5 top tips to help you to successfully prepare your child for the 11 plus. So first of all, it is important to start preparations as early as possible. There is no right or wrong time to begin, but a lot more can definitely be covered if students begin early. Most of our students at Creative Minds Tutors who are preparing for the 11 plus begin with us from year 3, and they begin with weekly 1-hour lessons. I personally find that this works the best because there is the time to address any areas of concern and to fill any gaps that need to be filled. More time can also be dedicated to story writing, which is a very important part of the 11 plus, and we have the time to write 2 to 3 drafts of the same story, so that children can see exactly what is expected of them in their story writing. More time can also be dedicated to more complex mathematical questions and reasoning and problem solving. Strategies can be taught to support the children to answer those more complex questions. Children who start with us later have also had incredible success in the 11 plus, but they will need to be at a very strong level and not have too many gaps in their learning. So I thought I'd share with you 2 examples of our students who sat the 11 plus. So Sarah started tuition with us for the 11 plus in year 3. She had quite a few gaps in her mathematical knowledge and understanding, and we addressed those in our lessons. She was fantastic at completing her home learning and did so independently. This really helped her with understanding those elements of maths that she was struggling with. We also worked a lot on her story writing, in particular focusing on her sentence structure. I encouraged her to read more frequently, which would then help her with her creativity in her story writing. She was not an avid reader, and she did need a lot of encouragement from both myself and from her parents. We organised a competition where we would send each other pictures of ourselves reading every single day, and this really motivated her, and a huge improvement happened in her writing. Sarah sat 6 exams in year 6, and she gained entry to her top school of choice, which was City of London. Another example is Noah. Now, Noah started tuition with us a little bit later, in January of year 5. He wanted to go to Merchant Taylors. That was his desired school. He was already very strong across the board, and this enabled us to focus on exam papers. At this point, that's what we needed to do. Any incorrect questions, we spent time analysing them and seeing where he went wrong so that he could improve. If gaps did appear, either on the papers or in our lessons, we could quickly address these, either in our lessons or through additional home learning. Noah needed particular support in his verbal reasoning, in particular vocabulary. So we spent quite a lot of time boosting his vocabulary through his reading again and through writing new words in his glossary. His parents were fantastic at testing him every single day and sending me words that he still found a little bit tricky. So in this way, we really worked together to improve his vocabulary skills. As a result of this, his vocabulary was really boosted, and we saw him improve his verbal reasoning scores. Although Noah started in year 5, he did gain entry into his school of choice. So just a little bit about the 11 plus exams. So they do happen between October to February of the September entrance. It is important to familiarise yourself with the different schools that you will be applying to because they all have slightly different procedures. So it is really important to know what these are. Prepare your child by ensuring that they are confident in all areas tested in the assessments. This is incredibly vast, especially for the 11 plus. So it is really important to get the support of a tutor who has a lot of experience in this area. So, as I mentioned before, Each school will have slightly different criteria and slightly different elements tested in the assessment. But in general, the elements that will be covered will be English, with a focus on comprehension, grammar, spelling, and story writing. Of course, having a vast vocabulary is extremely important. In maths, we advise that your child's maths level is well beyond the average expected Year 6 level. Ensure that there are no gaps, and if there are gaps, that these are revised and fully understood by your child. Your child will need strong reasoning and problem-solving skills in order to be able to answer those more complex examination questions. They will need to have a lot of practice, the variety of different exam papers. It is important to go through incorrect answers and fully understand where they went wrong. Verbal and non-verbal reasoning will need lots of practice and immersing your child into a variety of sample questions. Then we will need to prepare for the second and third rounds, if relevant, and practice answering interview questions. Answers need to flow naturally, and your child's personality needs to be allowed to shine through. If you have any questions at all, please send us an email on the link below.